Hello everyone, it's me, this is Julie. Hello. I wanted to show you today how I join circular knitted tubes together to form a blanket or a jacket or a top or something where you need to join your tubes together. Now, what I've got here, I have two tubes. I have a purple tube here and a lovely turquoise blue tube here. And I'm going to join them together because I'm making a blanket. So what I wanted to do was join them together, and some people have said to me, how do you join them together? Well, there are a number of ways that you can join them together. You can crochet them together. Some do a braided crochet, but I don't know how to do that yet. I'm working on it. You can sew them on a sewing machine if you wish, but that will give you a bump because obviously you'd have to sew along there. I'll bring that forward so that you can see it easier. You'd have to sew along there. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm trying to be professional now and not be silly, but it ain't working. So anyway, yeah. So, but the best way that I've found is to use a mattress stitch or a ladder stitch, depending on where you're from. It's some call it a mattress stitch, some call it a ladder stitch, and it gives you a sort of invisible seam. If you have panels or tubes of the same colour, it will look quite invisible, but because we've got two different colours, you're going to be able to see it. So I'm going to show you how I do this, and I'm going to try and get it up close as I can. I mean, I'm quite low down on the camera. I'm going to see if I can bring it. I don't want to bring it down anymore and it's going to collapse on me. So what you need for this ladder stitch, mattress stitch, are your pieces. You need a needle and thread. Needle and thread down here, as I'm up here. Okay, so you've got your needle and thread. This is just an embroidery needle or a bodkin needle here. And it has white yarn. It doesn't matter what colour you use. You can see I've got purple and blue tubes here, but it doesn't matter what colour you use because you're not going to see it, believe it or not. I'm sure most of you know how to do this stitch, but there are some people that have actually, oh no, I'm not sure how to do that. So I'm going to see if I can show you how to do it now. So I'm going to move this little piece of work along here so that you can see I've already started work here on my mattress stroke ladder stitch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down flat, because to knit on a flat, to sew like this on a flatter surface is much easier. Okay, you can do it with it on your lap. That's what I've done with this, but you know, if you're learning, it's much easier to sit it flat, so that you can see what I'm actually doing and where I'm going with these stitches. Now you can see at the moment, you can see the white stitching in there, which I've already done. I'm going to do a few more stitches just quickly, just to show you how I pull them through. Okay, so there we go. That's one on the purple side and one on the blue side. So you see that basically is all you have to do. It's pretty simple, but I'm going to see if I can try and get close up to show you where to put your needle. Okay, you've got your stitch in there. Okay, I'll put that like that so that it's easier and it's nearer for you to see. So what you have to do is you have to put your stitches, your needle, into every stitch that's on your panel or tube. So when you start at this end, you thread your needle and you use your first stitch, you put it through, and then you make your way zigzagging, because that's what you have to do. You have to zigzag all the way along, and that's basically what it is. So I've done that, and you can see that's been zigzagging all the way along. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you keep your stitching in the same stitch, so that it's along that there and along here, because if you don't, it won't be sort of invisible. So when those two sides pull together, it will just look like half the stitch is purple, half the stitch is blue. But at the moment, I've left it like that at the moment, so you can see the white stitching and you can see how I do it. So what you have to do is, now I've got the purple side to do. So in this stitch here, where you've already come through, okay, so what you do is you get your needle and you put your needle in the same stitch that's coming out of there, okay, and you put the needle under that ladder. That's why some people call it a ladder stitch, because if you look closely at these stitches, they do look like a ladder going up. So you push it, put your needle under there, okay, and that's one, and then you'd have to do the next one as well, so that you've got two. So you've got like two stitches on your needle, and then what you do is you just pull it through like that, so that you've got the stitches going through the white yarn. Okay, so that's what you do, and then as you come back and you do exactly the same on the blue side. Okay, you might want to move that over there so that you can see. So again, on the stitch where this yarn's come out of, you go into the same stitch and you pick up that stitch and you pick up that stitch, so you've got your ladder, and then pull through, which when you look at it, it makes a V shape. Okay, so we'll go again back to your there, and then we'll put that in the same stitch and find your ladder. There's one ladder, one rung, if you like, and two. I hope I'm getting this in the video, because I'm going to feel right Burke if I don't. So, and again, pull it through. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to go all the way until I've finished my yarn. You have to have very long. This is really long yarn. Measure your piece of work and make your yarn on your needle the same length. But I like to go along until I've got none left to do. I can't go no further. But I'm going to show you how to join the tubes up before I do that. But so I'm going to go again along. I'm going to go along there again with your two. You've got your two blue rungs there, and you pull it through. And then let me move that up a bit. There we go. And then your two purple rungs. As the more you do it, the easier it's going to be. I mean, you can see that I can do this quite quickly now. It took me absolute ages to work this out. It really did. Now you can see what I've done there. Look, now I've done this. I've made a little bit of a mistake here. instead of going into the same stitch that's come out of there, but gone into the next one, you can see, look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back. I'm just going to take the needle out and pull the yarn back through there. Okay, so there's no harm done. Rethread the needle. That's the worst part, threading the needle, and then we can go again. Now I'm not going to see, I missed this one, so we've got that one there and then that one there, so we go through that, the blue, we've got the right blues now. There we go. So we've got the right blues now, and we've got our V. Okay, and then we go back to the purple. I know this takes a lot of time, but it really is worth doing this because it looks absolutely amazing once it's done. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is show you how we close the tubes. What you do is gently tug on your yarn, and you will see it closing. Can you see? You see how that's closing? Gently tug on your yarn, very, very gently. Don't pull this end too tight because you'll pull that right out. I mean, if you want to actually pull that side, it's okay. And there you go. I like to give it a little tug so that it's not too tight. And there you go, look at that. And you can't even see the white. You will be able to see the white if you pull it back out like that, but you're not likely to do that when you've got the blanket. But so there you go, and that is your mattress stitch. And if you look at the other side, it is exactly the same on the other side. You see, so you can have a double-sided blanket if you like. This is all falling off the table because it's very long, this is. But because I've only sort of done the first sort of 8 inches or so, just to show you, I've got a long way to go yet. So that is what it's going to look like when it's all done. So then to carry on, what I do is to carry on, I'll put that up, and then I'll just sort of like pull that open just a little bit so that I can see where I last went in. And then we'll go back into the purple side. There we go. And then back into the blue side. And then I'll start to get a bit flash now. I'll start to get a bit flash and think, oh, yeah, I can do this. So I try to do 2 at the same time. I will do 2 there. I will do 2 there, keep it on the needle, and then go through to the blue. And put the blue on the needle as well and pull them both through. There we go. So you just get your V there. And then I'm sort of like, oh yeah, call me flash and I'll blind you, as my old nan used to say. 2 there. And then down to the blue. To those 2. You've got your blue and your purple on the needle and pull it through. You don't have to do it like that. I just do that because I'm lazy and got no patience and I do it quick. But that, you know, that's not a wrong way to do it. That's just, but if you're just starting out, just 2 at a time, I think. And take it slow. Don't try to rush it, because if you make a mistake and you go into the wrong stitch, say for example, you're sort of not concentrating perhaps, and you would go, oh right, okay, and you go up here like that into there like that, and then you can see what, you know, that you, I mean, I'm just showing you that it's in the stitch above, it's in the row above, sorry, it's in the row above. And when you come actually to close it, gently pull it, you will see that it's uneven. So keep an eye on it, because there's nothing worse than actually noticing that when you're up here somewhere, at that end somewhere, and you think, oh my God. So, because it is quite easy to take it back, as I showed you earlier, it is quite easy to take it back. But be very careful you don't actually go into the row above, because it will, I mean, it's not a mistake per se, but it will just look a bit uneven, that's all. I mean, it will still work, it will still sew, but it will just look uneven. So there we go. So basically that is your ladder stitch, your mattress stitch, to join these tubes. I've not actually tried the ladder stitch to join panels, because I've only just learned how to do panels, so I haven't really tried a mattress stitch to join those, but I would assume that it would work in a similar way. But this is a really excellent way to join your tubes for blankets and other things, you know, like if you're making stoles or wraps or shawls. I mean, even if you wanted a wide thick scarf, you know, because I mean, if you was to have these two panels, this would make you a lovely wide thick scarf. These tubes have been knitted on a 40 machine, so that's why they may look a bit thinner, because I've knitted these on a 40 pin machine. But I mean, it doesn't matter what size machine you use, as long as you can still join them all the same way. So yeah, so that's basically it. And when you get to your end, when you get to your other end, you would just sort of give it a tug, straighten it out like this, and then I would sort of pull it just to make it a little bit more so it's not tight and bunched up, and then you'll have an end like this, at the other end as well. So what I do is just tie in my ends, sew in my ends, like these have got a bit, these are just the ends of the things. So you just sew it in as you would these as well. So it's that simple. So thank you for watching, and any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I'll see you again soon on my next lesson. Bye for now.